you know, Emma, I know this is a little off topic, but we opened up the UK right in our dining room in Mooresville, North Carolina. Did you know that?
I knew something along those lines, but yeah, that's really cool.
So I've been hanging out with those guys for 4 years now, 3 years, at least Adam. And I actually went to shareholders the last 2 times just to hang out with the UK guys because they flew closer to me than normal. But what a fun group.
They have, yeah, they're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like a drink, that's
Until the next morning.
So Emma,
exactly.
my bar tab with them 2 years ago was $1,800.
Not
So,
surprised in the
I'm not
slightest.
I'm not drinking with any of them ever again. My wife texted me at some point. She goes, "Rich, are you at the hospital?" And I'm like I just saw the charges pop up. I'm like, we're all okay, believe it or not, you know. All right, so let's rock and roll here, just because time is tight. So, all right, guys, just to catch you up. Yesterday we did a CMA grid. If you are Rockstar Agents and Workplace, you're able to see that actual grid and download it. It'll send me an email and ask me if I want to share it. I've been accepting them all day long. I know a bunch of you have gotten them. So just remember, it's going to be a few minutes till you get the acceptance, but you'll get it. You'll get it today. Okay. And then what we did is we actually took the grid and we started talking about basically the fundamentals of how to formulate a real CMA. More, not an appraisal, we're not licensed appraisers, but really figure out what the value is. So if you haven't seen that video, you're coming into like 15 minutes into the movie, okay? So go back and catch up, okay? All right, Emma, you're able to share screen. I wanna see what you have, and we're gonna walk through sort of the psychology of what to do in a tough situation.
Okay, well, bear with me, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know how to do it, if I'm honest.
I'll walk you. Okay, do you have the grid up on your computer?
I do.
Okay, hit share screen and it'll pop up for us to all see.
Where it says share and then it's got the title.
It should say share screen at the bottom tab of your computer.
Oh, share screen.
Green button.
It says explore.
Let's see here. Let's hold on. Let me just make sure that you have hosting ability here.
Yeah, she's got co-host.
Yeah, she should be good. Okay, read to me the tabs that you have on the bottom from left to right, like rapid fire.
Cells 1 to 3, cells 4 to 6, sheet 2, sheet 3.
That's the grid. What about on your Zoom bar, your header?
Oh crap. Okay. Yeah. So I'm out of that already.
It's okay, don't you worry about it. Listen, on the bottom of your Zoom header, when you can see your face again, click on the share screen on the bottom and then open up that grid for us to all see.
Okay, well, you've all disappeared now because I clicked off it and now I've got the Zoom page.
Don't worry, now go back to meeting, click the back to meeting so you can see yourself.
Zoom page.
Don't worry, now go back to meeting, click the back to meeting so you can see yourself.
Okay.
Okay, and then everybody else, if you got background noise, mute.
I got her.
Okay, thank you, bud. Okay, Emma, so you should see on the bottom of the header, share screen.
Okay. You really are going to regret asking me to do this because I stink at this. No, because I don't know. Where am I? Hang on, let me sign. I've completely signed out for some reason, but I can hear you still.
Okay, so go back. You're going to go back on, what did you open it up on? Google or Safari or something?
I'm on Chrome.
Okay, click the Chrome tab and that'll find you back to a way that you could find the meeting. Because your Zoom is still open, trust me. Otherwise, we want to hear you. It's okay.
Oh, I hate this stuff. I really do.
Don't you worry. There's no pressure. Everybody's cool.
It feels like a lot of pressure.
There's no pressure. Everybody's cool. What I'll do.
I shouldn't tell her that this is being recorded, and
I know exactly. Immortalized.
Jump in the chat box and work with Emma through this, and I'm going to share my screen. Okay?
You got it. Perfect. All right, Emma.
All right, can everybody see my screen?
Back. Yeah, I've got yours.
Okay, Emma, just work through the chat box with Rob until we can pull yours up, and then I'll start working on this explanation for everybody else. Okay, and if we have to revisit this tomorrow, we will. It's no big deal. Okay, so all right, so guys, listen, this is my MLS. This is what it looks like, right? So when we're trying to figure out what a property is worth, right, I always look at active, pending, and closed sales. Okay, the reason why I look at active is basically on the principle of substitution. What else can we buy for this money, right? I mean, that's what every buyer is going to be looking at. I want to see how we stack up. So if I see there's a house for 6, this is Morrison Plantation. This is sort of like a, well, you know, whatever, you see the price ranges here, right? This is a neighborhood that's like a few miles away from my house, right? So what you notice here is that if you have a house right now in Morrison Plantation, in that school district where you can walk to the YMCA and the park and all that stuff, right? You have an option for 630 and you have an option for 400. These are radically different buyers. 3,700 square feet, 1,380 square feet. Notice that the 1,380 square foot is a lot more price per square foot, right? The bigger that you go and the further you go to heaven, the cheaper it is to build, right? The less it is per square foot most of the time, right? So anyway, as you look at, oh, this is a townhouse. That's why also see that this is a townhouse, right? So anyway, when you look at this, you want to see what you're comparing against. So if you have a townhome for sale, you have one other competitor. If you have a single family house that's, you know, close to 4,000 square feet, you have one competitor. This one that listed for 590 went under contract immediately. Okay, let's find out how long it took, right? So you scroll down on it and 0 days on the market. How cool is that, right? So let's go back to the single line. We got 2 that are under contract. So if you have a townhome that you're looking at, this one here for 495 went under contract. Let's see how many days on the market. 14 days, 2 weeks. So guess what? Do we need a 6-month listing to get a townhome sold out there? Well, we have one piece of data that says no. We probably could do a 30-day listing, which is a lot easier to get than a 6-month, you know, engagement, right? And then we have another house that's sold for 500. That's 27. So let's look at that. 2-story, little bit of brick, you know, 3 days on the market. So from what you guys are able to see just in this little tiny portal of this one neighborhood, which is single family houses, new townhomes and old townhomes, you're able to actually see that things are moving pretty fast. Now we have a bunch of closed sales, right? So we have what, 1, 2, 3 townhomes. Okay, so we can look at townhomes or we can look at single family. Let's just scroll through these really fast because some of the selection here is going to be important here. So we have this is one of the older townhomes. It's an exterior unit, so it's got windows on one side, which means you have more sunlight, right? It also means you have one less attached neighbor, so that's kind of cool, right? This one went in 1 day on the market. Pretty cool, right? So let's go to the next one. Single family house, 39 days on the market. Single family house, 64 days on the market. So they're not flying off the shelf as fast.
Yes.
2 days on the market for this other single family house. So pricing is important. Okay, this one here at 410, 5 days on the market. So it sounds like if you're priced right, you're going to go. 310, 1 day on the market. Okay, and then also looks like the lower price properties are moving faster. 590, 38 days on the market. Okay. 89 days on the market. Interesting. Oh, Stephen Custer. Remember I told you that my CMA guy that I created the grid? He's EXP Realty. I mentioned him yesterday. He sold this one. So 432. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some comp placement. So if we have a townhome, we're going to look first and say, okay, there's an active townhome. There's a pending townhome. Now you could put these on the sales comparison grid that I pulled up yesterday. You just can't adjust them because you don't know what the price is, but they can still go in the grid, right? You have another, what here? You have another townhome here, another townhome here, and another townhome here, okay? So when you're looking at basically this setup, we've got 2 that have not yet closed, and we got 3 that have closed. Now let's look at these guys. One is 359, that's an older townhome. This one here is 310, that's an older townhome. And this one here is 432. Why is this one so much more expensive? Let's look at it. I think this is one of the newer townhomes built in 2018. Exactly right. All right, so let's get rid of this one and let's see what this one is. This one was built in 2005, so that's one of the older townhomes. And this one was built in 2004, so it's one of the older townhomes. All right, makes sense. This is just kind of how we're going through it. Let me let these last folks in here. Hold on one second.
And hey, we're ready with Emma too.
Okay, good deal. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share. I just want to give you a little bit of idea of comp placement and how that works, how we're going to start picking through this. All right, Emma, let's rock and roll, my friend.
All right, Emma, now click that green button. Okay, now it's got all of the different ones. So click on the screen that you want to share and then hit the blue button that says share. And let me get you back on off of mute. So unmute. There you go.
Yeah.
Is Rob an operator or what?
It's saying Google Chrome unknown. Honestly, you should never.
Don't you worry about it. Listen, Emma, we'll get with you offline and get that squared away because we're going to comp a property out for Emma that she's
Okay.
having a hard time finding comps for. So that's not a big deal. Don't sweat it.
We
No
got
big deal. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, let me go back to my screen. Okay. And we're going to start taking these comps and just looking at them. The reason why I like looking at this on a single line is because I'm able to see kind of what's going on from an aerial view. So I'm going to go back to criteria and I'm going to go back 250 days because I really need 3 comps and I only have 2. Okay. And then I'm actually going to click on townhouse so I can get rid of all the single family houses out there. And then on year, I'm going to go 2000 to 2010 because I don't want any of the new townhomes because I don't want to have to adjust anything that heavy unless I absolutely have to. So I go back and I still have the same options. I have the 1 active listing and I have the 2 closed sales. So let me go back a little bit further. Now I don't like going back too much, but I'm going to go back 1 full year just to make sure I can see what I've got here. Okay, I found a 3rd closed sale. All right. So we have basically if our active listing is this one here at Welton Way, 232 Welton Way, I'm going to write down some basic bullet points of what we have. Okay, and then we'll get it in a grid. Okay, so basically we have a 3 2.5. So our bedrooms are 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. We have an interior unit because the pictures show you that this one is sandwiched between 2 other buildings. It was built in 2006, so it's one of the older units. Okay, it's 1,380 square feet, right? It was listed for $399.99. I don't know why you would do that, by the way. Don't ever list a property for $399,999. That is not the way to do it. You list it for 400 because when someone's sitting at Zillow, they're going to type in 370 to 400 and 400 to 430. And you're going to catch both searches. Major 101 mistake there. Okay. This one here has got a detached 2-car garage. Okay. That's important because some of these have a 1-car garage. All right, let's read. Welcome to Morrison, blah, 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 blah. 9-foot ceilings. They all came with 9-foot ceilings. Loaded with tankless hot water heater. Okay, new roof. Some of the mechanicals have been changed. All right, new composite deck. So we know it's got a deck, so we'll put that in the blank for the deck, right? 29 days on the market. So we're gonna have an idea of how long it's gonna take to sell this baby, right? And this is the active listing. So this is our subject, we're gonna call it. We're gonna find out real quick if this thing is overpriced or not. It's been on the market for 29 days. My guess, 29 days on the market, they might have missed the mark a little bit. Oh, why? It's $399. All 3 sales that are similar in square footage are much lower. So this person's trying to push the market. Let's see who the realtor is, just curious. Sue Zimmerman. Now, this is a revenue share call because what happens, I'll say, hey, Sue, you have a couple mistakes in your thing. First of all, your price is off. Second of all, you're only offering 2.5% commission and everybody else is offering 3% commission. And third of all, the 3 sales that sold recently are not in alignment with what you're asking for, yet the rates are 3 or 4% higher than what some of these properties sold for, especially comp 3. So just a unsolicited advice, if you list it for this is where I think it'll sell for. I'll send you my CMA, share it with the seller so I could be the bad cop. And if I can help you down the road, I'm always here for you. Okay, just letting you know. Okay, closed sale. This guy right here, sale 1. Let's look at it. This is a 3 2.5. It's a end unit, so there's a distinction. Okay, the one for $399 is an interior unit. Okay, it was built in 2005. Anybody think there's a difference in resale value from the 2005 to 2006? Let me just answer no. Okay, square footage 1386. Appraisers typically will not adjust within 100 square feet. Okay, close enough. Most of the amateur buyers and sellers and even real estate agents can't dictate the difference between 100 square feet when they're walking into a property. You just can't find it. Now, if you're walking into a 500 square foot property versus a 400 square foot property, you can find it. But if you're walking into 1,400 square feet or 2,500 square feet or 10,000 square feet, good luck. Okay. The price on this was $339. So why is that other one worth $60,000 more than this one? Well, maybe it's not. I don't know. It's sold for $359. So look at that. It's sold for more than list price. So now the other property might only be $30,000 overpriced because this one went for $359. Pretty cool, right? All right, detached 2-car garage. Makes sense? Makes sense. Are you recording this, Rob? I forgot to ask.
Yep, I am.
Okay, let's see if it has a deck, right? The other one has a new composite deck. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see in the back here, carpet tile, brick, full yard, patio. No, it's got a patio. It's got an old concrete patio. Okay. And then the last thing, how many days on the market? 1 day on the market. And it went for $359. So let's do some math here because I went to public school, so I need to rely on a calculator. So 359 divided by 339 means that it went for 105% of the asking price. Okay, interesting. All right, let's look at comp 2, single line, comp 2. Comp 2, we're going to type in the information. Was listed for, it's a 3, and it's a 2, 2.5. So now we're going to have to make a bedroom adjustment. Make sense, guys? Okay, is it an end unit? Well, I don't know. Let's look at the pictures. Looks like a nice clean facelift on it. They painted 50 Shades of Gray back when that was popular. Let's see what we got on the outside here. Hold on. We got an interior unit. Okay, we got it built in 2004 because it took a couple years to build these babies out. We got 1,210 square feet. Guess why it's so much smaller? Because it's missing a 3rd bedroom. We've got $299 list price, and look at this. This one sold for $310. The other one's been on the market for 29 days. They're not going to get over 100% because they're 130% overpriced or whatever it is, right? We'll find out. Don't worry, we'll know exactly. Okay, let's look at. Does it have a 2-car garage? Sometimes the 1-car. Oh, look, garage detached on street. I don't think it has a garage at all. Let's find out. I don't think this one has a garage, guys. Let's go look. And this is why it's sold for so much less. So that's why price per square foot doesn't mean anything. By the way, anyone agree here that this is in pretty good condition? This is kind of a beautiful little unit, isn't it? I would say that this one is probably superior condition than the other ones. We'll confirm that. Okay, so I don't think they have a garage. So sometimes you have to confirm with the agent or go on like a GIS and just look at the picture. But in my opinion, this one doesn't have a garage. Let me look at the tax record and just take a picture of, or the map. Let me look at it on the map. So I'm going to click on that. Look how lazy they're able to make us with this cool technology. Let's scroll in. We're going to identify if this thing has a garage right in its backyard. Let's see. All right, this one here doesn't look like it has a garage. These are the detached garages in the backyard. All right, so I don't think it has it. Okay, so let me get out of here. Sorry, guys, I haven't been comping properties out in a while, so I got to find the screen. Okay, all right, so anyway, let's say no garage, so we're gonna have to adjust for that. Let's see if it has a patio. They all had patios, by the way. This one has this agent filled in a lot of details, right? It's a good sign. Oh, Elizabeth Davis, that's why, because she's a great agent. Okay, so let's see here. I can't see where there's a pad. There it is, patio. We got a patio. And then how many days on the market? Anyone guessing not many? Yes, 1 day on the market. Okay, so let's go to the last sale here. And then we could put all of these in the grid, right? Last sale here, what do we have? Well, it looks like we have an end unit, doesn't it? So we have a 2, 2.5. We have an end unit built in 2005. This one's 1,194 square feet. So this is the slightly smaller 2-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, right? Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got a patio down low. I don't think we have a garage on this one either, guys. Farmer's market, bedrooms, bathrooms, no bigger. Oh, here, outdoor, oversized 1-car garage. Okay, and then let's see what the condition looks like. Let's look at the photos. Okay, looks pretty clean, right? Maybe not quite as nice as comp 2 because it's got mica countertops. Okay, so we'll consider this like clean average condition. Okay, all right, guys, let's keep looking. What do we have? We have 294 sold for 305. Again, went over asking price. Days on the market, 2 days on the market. All right, guys, hold on 1 second. Let me see your faces. Okay. Think about it. So we have sale 1 is a 3-bedroom comp. Don't worry, we'll put this all on a grid. Okay, I just don't want to do it in front of you because we don't have the time. All right, so I'll put this on a grid on my own time, and then we're going to adjust this out next week on our next CMA class. But what do we know? Subject's got 3, 2.5. Sale 1's got a 3, 2.5. The only difference between those two properties is basically one is an interior unit and one's an end unit. Okay, everybody thumbs up, makes sense? Okay, sales 2 and 3 sold for closer to 300. And what's the differences between them? They have one less bedroom, less square footage, and less parking. So when we look at our 2-bedroom units side by side, sale 2 and sale 3, both 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. I'm going to use thumbs to work through this. One's an interior unit, one's an end unit. So the end unit sold for $5,000 less than the interior unit, but the interior unit has superior condition. So it shows that the condition offset the fact that it was an interior unit because it was so pretty inside. So 1,210 square feet versus 1,194, all the same. Okay, superior condition, no garage, 1-car garage. So we have another factor in there. So when we start looking at sale data and we go back, if we looked at townhomes that sold in 2020 when the market was crazy, right? We could go back, or even 2019, right before the market was crazy, we could go back and start determining what the differences were between like property. So for example, I'll use Eric Orland on this call. Eric and I both have grayish hair, right? I've met Eric in person. Eric, how tall are you?
About 6'3".
Okay, I'm 5'9". So there's a big height difference, 6 inches difference in height, right? There's a minor age difference, but if you don't think there is, that's just a compliment to Eric. And I can tell you that I did a lot of short sales in 2009. We start making out the differences, right, between the two of us, and we start listing it out. But what we notice is that if we're the same age and we're the same height, and we have the same gray hair, maybe the only difference is glasses, right? And when we're able to actually, what's that?
So Rich is just a couple of years older than I am. I just want to be really clear about that to everybody. I'm super vain. So Rich is just a few years older than I am.
I just turned 62, and it's by REM sleep, lifting weights and doing zone 2 cardio. So one thing that we need to do is start really trying to pare down to where there's only 1 or 2 differences between the comps. So we're able to dictate what that adjustment should be. Make sense? Okay, so we're going to put on sale 1 in the grid. We're going to put the subject in the grid. Sale 1. Hey, Rob, do you have that grid? Can you pull that up for me?
Yep.
Man, I swear to God, Rob's like a life coach that I needed back in my 20s, 30s, 40s. I mean, it's unbelievable. I've traveled with him. We went down to shareholders. Like, I mean, he knows where the next gas station's going. He's in front of you all the time. So do business with people like that. This way it's fun. Okay.
Hold on the way.
Okay. So in the subject line, we're going to put all of the details, and then sale 1. So these are how these are going to stack up. Okay, perfect. So we're going to put in all the details that I just wrote down on a pad. Okay. And then we're going to start adjusting these. And when we see these come on our next class, we're going to see that there's going to be some obvious things before we even adjust them that you're going to be able to notice. Like, well, the 2 bedrooms on comp 2 and 3 are far less than the adjustments on comp 1 because the sale price on comp 1 because comp 1's a 3-bedroom, and the square footage is in line. So can you stop share for me real quick on that?
Yep.
So
Can I just say that's my sheet.
that's your
what
sheet.
it is.
Oh, good, Emma, we found it. Okay, don't worry, we'll work on this. Okay.
See, we got you, Emma.
So
Thank
what
you.
happens? What happens now is very, very simple. Is that on comp 1, comp 2, comp 3, things are going to start popping out differences, and we're going to start equating 3 or 4 features to the $30,000 or $50,000 difference in price. And we're going to start being able to decipher, wow, a garage condition and an end unit and a 3rd bedroom are really driving the prices here. So all we have to do is figure out those adjustments, and we're going to be fine, totally fine. And then once we figure out those adjustments and we make those adjustments, we look back and we see sale 1 had an adjusted price of a certain amount, let's say $330. Sale 2 had an adjusted price of $335. Sale 3 had an adjusted price of $338. Now, if you want to push the market, selling it for $340 or $345 is the key, not $399. Now, if we see that the sale a year ago, the one that I went back and expanded my parameters on, went for the most, then we know that our market has gone down in value. and then it's starting to search, shoot back up or stabilize. So we can figure that out. If our old sales are more than today's sales or yesterday's sales, we know that we're in a depreciating market. If they're less than, we know that we're in an appreciating market. So let's talk about the successive sales method. Okay, Emma's case, she said that her best comp is the subject property that sold a year or two ago, right? So if you find in a neighborhood like Morrison Plantation, that's the one that I used, that a property sold in 2009 for $200,000, and it sold in 2014 for $250,000, and it didn't change, we can build a case that in that 5 years, it went up $10,000 a year. Make sense? Okay, but that's kind of old data, right? So it'd be better if we found one that sold in 2018 than sold again in 2022, right? And then we say, okay, it's $10,000 a year still. Well, that's one example. That's not a survey. So we go back and try to find another sale that had a quick flip. The average person holds on to a house for 7 years in the marketplace right now, right? But there's a lot of people that are way more transient, especially Morrison Plantation townhomes. By the way, that's called the penalty box. When you get divorced, you move from the point at $1.5 million, you move into the penalty box in the townhouse, and then you meet somebody that you're not compatible with, and then you go back and buy in the point. All right, so it's just recirculating fish, okay? I'm not saying I ever lived there. I'm just saying I've been inside a few of those buildings, okay? So what we're saying is that we start to determine now, if we find 2 or 3 or 4 other properties that had flips, and they're averaging $8,000 or $9,000 a year in appreciation, now we know that, okay, we're averaging $9,000 annually in appreciation. So a comp that is 6 months old, remember, we don't have to turn this into an underwriter. There is no underwriter. We're just truth seekers. So if a property is going up basically $9,000 a year, and you have a comp that is half a year old, closed 6 months ago, you can do a time adjustment for $4,500. What are you going to do? You're going to add it. You're going to add it to the sale, because in the last 6 months, that sale would have sold for $4,500 more based on how it's been performing. And that's how you're able to dictate what the market's worth. Now, if you're in a depreciating market, this is where it's very important. Listen, if we don't get the price right now, our market is depreciating $3,000 in your neighborhood a month. Plus, you're probably paying 90% interest to your 30-year amortized mortgage payment. So your holding cost, plus the cost of missing out and chasing a bad market, is $5,000 a month. So if you have a listing with me for 6 months and we don't succeed, it costed you $30,000. It only costed me $1,000 in marketing and time. So don't think that I'm here trying to save myself money. I'm trying to save you pains that I've watched other people make, and I want to be in front of things. So if you list your house $10,000 below market value, we don't have to get into that terrible rotation of chasing a bad market. Or if we're in a good market and you list your house $10,000 more, it's a smart goal. It's attainable. It might not be realistic, but it can happen, but we can go from there. So the way real estate agents are able to control the market is we inch the market up. And when you see real estate agents try to leapfrog and push the market up like we had in 2020, 21, 22, you see dysfunction in the closed sales. So then appraisers go back and they have all these disjointed, adjusted sales, and they have a large range, and they pick a number somewhere in the middle just to make sure they stay out of real estate commission jail, and you don't have an accurate evaluation, and then you have a problem. So when I met my appraiser, I was a listing agent only. I couldn't work buyer's agents because I'm too, well, you guys know me at this point. I'm just too candid to work buyer's agency, right? I was going out of business fast. So what I would say is, listen, to the buyer's agent, I want to make sure that our appraisal is accurate. I'm not saying that I want to make sure that it meets the sale price. I think that I'm accurate on price, but I don't know. I'm not an appraiser anymore. I'm a former whatever. It means nothing. So I want to make sure that the appraiser comes up with an accurate price. Here's the closed sales and the CMA that I did when I listed the property, and I want to share that with you. And if you disagree with any of these things, and I share it with them before they start negotiating, so they have an idea that they're going to play chess and not checkers. Once we get on the same page, now you have 2 people that are going to try to meet the appraiser and pitch the case. You don't have an adversary. You don't have somebody that's trying to use that appraisal or bad news to drop your price. You already got their buy-in prior to the bad news. And then I say, hey, listen, would you like to meet the appraiser? We'll go have a cup of coffee after it and then go back on our way. 2 agents meeting the appraiser with the dimensions of the house, with the closed sales, with the recent improvements, all of that stuff. What's our chances that that appraisal is going to be different than another appraisal or someone that just opened up a super box and went on their way? It's a big difference. I had 2 appraisal deals that were a problem for me in $800 million of transactions. And guess what? When we did the rebuttal, we won both cases. Okay? It sets expectations for the seller. It sets expectations for the buyer's agent. It gets everybody on the same page of logic over emotion. It shows that you've been prepared. It shows you how long your listing agreement has to be. It shows an expectation of what your percentage of sale price you're going to achieve. It shows the buyer's agents when they try to lowball you that you've done your research and you're not going to have the hockey shirt pulled over your head. It shows a lot of things. Pretty cool stuff, right? All right, I'm at timeout time. I'll get these on a CMA grid, and then we're going to look at them and adjust them together on Tuesday. I was doing this class Monday through Thursday, but now we're starting our game July 10th for production, which, by the way, if you're not putting your DPA points, I'm not going to pick you on my team. Okay, I went
Get in there.
Yeah, get them in there. And then second of all, we're going to do this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So we'll update the flyer on there. So meet me Tuesday, same time, same place, and we're going to have these on a grid and we're going to live adjust these. Okay. All right, we're going live in EXP Family Tree on an entirely different work page. So I need to get rid of you guys. So
no offense.
please log off, and otherwise we're going to kick you out with a smile, and then we're going to go live in another group. Okay. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful for you guys. All right. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Thank you. Thank you.
All the people with babies on your laps, keep doing it. You can do it.
It's the grandbaby. Pam.
Grandbaby, Tara, what kind of skin cream are you using at night? Okay.
Say bye. Have a good day.
See you later, Pee-wee.
Say bye.
All right, let me just remove everybody else here.
I'm helping.
Okay.
You got it. You got it.
Wanda. Let's remove. I got it, buddy.
Perfect.
Okay. Hey,
Wait a
guys.
minute. Hold on. I'm just gonna do this.